Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Jane and Alex podcast. I am Jane, and I am so happy to be here with you today.
And I'm Alex. It is great to be back behind the microphone. We have a very exciting and very practical topic for you today. It is something that has changed the world in the last few years.
That is right, Alex. Today we are talking about English for remote jobs. We are going to talk about how to find a remote job, how to interview for one, and the specific English vocabulary you need to work from home successfully.
This is such an important topic, Jane. Since the pandemic, the way we work has changed completely. Many companies now hire people from all over the world. You could be living in Brazil, Japan, or Italy and working for a company in the United States or the UK.
Exactly. It opens up so many opportunities, but it also brings new challenges. You need to be able to communicate clearly through video calls, emails, and chat messages. The English you use in a Zoom meeting is a little different from the English you use in a coffee shop.
You are absolutely right. We are going to cover everything from technical vocabulary, like what to say when your internet is bad, to cultural tips for working with international teams. We want you to feel confident applying for these jobs.
Before we dive deep into this topic, we have a small favor to ask. If you are enjoying our podcast and want to improve your English with us every week, please take a second right now to hit that like button.
Yes, please do. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. It really helps us grow and allows us to keep creating these long, helpful lessons for you. If you are ready to master the English of remote work, subscribe now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Now, Alex, let's start with the basics. What do we actually call this type of work? I hear so many different terms.
That is a great place to start. The most common term is simply remote work. If a job is a remote job, it means you do not go into an office. You work from somewhere else.
Right. And another very common phrase is WHF. That stands for work from home. You will see this in job descriptions a lot. For example, this position is 100% WHF.
Exactly. You might also hear the word telecommute, though that is a bit older. A newer, very popular term is digital nomad. Jane, what is a digital nomad?
A digital nomad is someone who works remotely but travels at the same time. They might work from a laptop in a cafe in Bali one month and then in Paris the next month. It sounds like a dream.
It does sound amazing. But most people just want a remote job so they can stay in their own home and avoid the commute. That brings us to another important word, hybrid.
Oh yes, hybrid is very common now. A hybrid job is a mix. Maybe you go to the office 2 days a week and you work from home 3 days a week. So if you are looking for a job, you need to check if it is fully remote or hybrid.
Correct. So let's imagine our listeners are looking for a job. They're reading a job description in English. What are some key words they should look for to know if they need good English communication skills?
They will often see phrases like strong written and verbal communication skills. In a remote job, this is even more important than in a normal job, because you cannot just walk over to someone's desk. You have to write clearly.
Yes, you might also see asynchronous communication. That is a big word. Let's break that down. Asynchronous.
Asynchronous means communication that does not happen at the same time. For example, sending an email is asynchronous. I send it and you read it 2 hours later. A phone call is synchronous. It happens at the same time.
Perfect explanation. Remote companies love asynchronous communication because employees live in different time zones. So you need to be comfortable writing messages that are clear and complete so the other person doesn't have to ask 5 follow-up questions.
That is a great tip. Okay, let's move into some real-life situations. The first hurdle is the job interview. But for a remote job, the interview is almost always on a video call, like Zoom, Google Meet, or Microsoft Teams.
And that brings its own set of English phrases. The tech check. This is the first minute of the interview where everyone is checking their audio and video. You need to sound natural here, not panicked.
So true. Let's role play this, Alex. I will be the interviewer and you are the candidate. We are just starting the call.
Okay, I am ready.
Hi there. Thanks for joining me. Can you hear me and see me okay?
Hi. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How is the connection on your end?
It's great. The video looks good too.
Perfect. I'm glad everything's working smoothly.
Okay, cut. That was simple, but perfect. Alex used the phrase loud and clear. This is a great native phrase. Instead of just saying yes, say I can hear you loud and clear.
It shows confidence. Now, what if there is a problem? What if Jane asks, "Can you hear me?" and the answer is no, or the audio is breaking up?
This happens all the time. You should say, I am sorry, you are breaking up a little bit, or the connection is a bit unstable.
Breaking up means the sound is cutting in and out. It is a very specific phrasal verb for phone and video calls. You can also say, I think there is a lag.
A lag is when the video freezes or the audio comes a few seconds late. If that happens, do not just sit there silently. You can say, I think there is a lag. Let me try turning off my camera to improve the bandwidth.
That is a very advanced professional sentence. Let me turn off my camera to improve the bandwidth. It shows you understand technology and you are a problem solver.
Exactly. Another common situation is the dreaded mute button. We have all done it. You start talking, but no one can hear you.
If you are the interviewer and the candidate is on mute, you can say nicely, I think you might be on mute. Or, I can see you talking, but I cannot hear you.
And if you are the one who made the mistake, don't panic. Just unmute and say, oops, sorry about that. I was on mute. Keep it light and friendly. Don't apologize too much. Just fix it and move on.
Right. Confidence is key. Now, let's talk about the actual interview questions. In a remote job interview, they are going to ask you about your work style. They want to know if you are self-motivated.
Yes, they might ask, how do you stay organized when working remotely? Or how do you handle distractions at home?
This is where you need to use strong verbs. You can say things like, I prioritize my tasks using a digital calendar, or I set specific blocks of time for deep work.
Deep work is a great term. It means working with high concentration and no distractions. You could also say, I am very self-disciplined. I create a daily schedule and stick to it, just like I would in an office.
Stick to it means to follow the plan. That is a great phrasal verb. Let's try another role play, Jane. I will be the interviewer this time. I want to ask you about communication.
Okay, I am ready.
So, Jane, since our team is distributed across different time zones, communication is vital. How do you ensure you stay on the same page with your colleagues?
That is a great question. I believe in over-communicating when working remotely. I make sure to update my status on Slack, and I send daily recaps of my work. If I am unsure about a task, I always ask for clarification immediately to avoid delays.
That is an excellent answer. You use the phrase over-communicating. Usually, over is bad, like overeating. But in remote work, over-communicating is a good thing. It means communicating more than usual to be safe.
Yes, and I also use the phrase stay on the same page. This means to have the same understanding. If we are on the same page, we agree and understand the plan.
And daily recaps. A recap is a summary. Sending a quick summary of what you did that day is a great habit for remote workers.
Let's talk about another situation, the screen share. In almost every remote job, you will have to present something. You need to know the phrases for sharing your screen.
Definitely. The standard phrase is simply, let me share my screen. But you should always check if people can see it. You can ask, can everyone see my screen? Or is my screen visible? Once you are sharing, you might need to switch between tabs. You can say, bear with me a second while I switch to the spreadsheet.
Bear with me is a polite way to say, please wait for me. It is very professional. Bear with me a moment.
Now, let's discuss some common mistakes learners make when trying to get remote jobs. One big mistake is being too informal in written communication.
Yes, because chat apps like Slack or Discord feel like texting, people sometimes use text speak. They might write you instead of you or are instead of are. In a professional remote job, especially when you're new, you should use full sentences and correct grammar.
Exactly. Until you know the company culture, keep it professional. Another mistake is silence. If you disappear for 6 hours and don't answer messages, people worry. If you need to step away, just say, I am stepping away for lunch, or AFK for 30 minutes.
AFK, that stands for away from keyboard. That is very common gamer slang that made it into the remote work world. But maybe stick to stepping away if you want to be safe and formal.
Good point. Another mistake is not accounting for time zones. If you say, let's meet at 3 p.m., that is confusing. Is it 3 p.m. your time or my time?
Always specify the time zone. Say, let's meet at 3 p.m. EST or 3 p.m. London time. Or better yet, send a calendar invite that converts the time automatically.
Let's practice a conversation about scheduling a meeting across time zones. This is tricky.
Okay, Jane, I want to schedule a meeting with you, but I am in New York and you are in Tokyo.
Okay, let's try.
Hey, Jane, do you have time to catch up on the project later today?
I would love to, but it is already 6 p.m. here in Tokyo. I am logging off soon. What time is it for you?
Oh, right. It is only 5 a.m. here. I am an early bird. Okay, how about we meet tomorrow morning my time? That would be your evening, right?
Actually, tomorrow morning your time is quite late for me. Could we do 8 a.m. your time? That is 9 p.m. for me, which is a bit late, but I can make it work for a quick call.
I don't want you to work that late. Let's look at Thursday. I can stay up late on Thursday. How about 9 p.m. New York time? That should be Friday morning for you.
Yes, 9 p.m. Thursday your time is 10 a.m. Friday my time. That works perfectly. Let's lock that in.
Great. I'll send the invite.
Whew, scheduling math is hard. But notice the phrases we used. Catch up, logging off, make it work, and lock that in.
Lock that in means to confirm the plan officially. And logging off is the digital version of leaving the office. I am logging off for the day.
We also mentioned early bird. An early bird is someone who likes to wake up and work early in the morning. The opposite is a night owl. In remote teams, knowing if you are an early bird or a night owl helps your team know when to message you. Let's talk about small talk in remote meetings. In an office, you chat by the coffee machine. In a remote job, the first 2-3 minutes of a Zoom call are for small talk. It builds connection. You cannot just jump straight into business. It feels cold. You need to ask, how is your week going? Or talk about the weather. Since you are in different locations, the weather is actually a very interesting topic. True. Is it snowing there? It is so hot here today. It sounds boring, but it helps remind us that we are real people in real places. Another good question is, do you have any plans for the weekend? Or asking about their background. I see a guitar in your background. Do you play? This is a great way to bond. Yes, using visual clues from their video background is smart. Just be polite. Don't stare too much. Let's do a section on how to sound more confident. Many non-native speakers feel shy on video calls because they feel exposed. The camera is on their face. My best advice is to slow down. When we are nervous, we speak fast, but on a video call, audio can be compressed. Speaking slowly and clearly makes you sound like a leader. Absolutely. Also use confirmation checks. After you explain a complex idea, don't just stop. Ask, does that make sense? Or do you have any questions on that? And if you don't understand someone, interrupt politely. Do not just nod and pretend. In a remote job, misunderstandings are dangerous. You can say, sorry to interrupt, Alex, but could you repeat that last part? The audio cut out for a second. Even if the audio didn't cut out and you just didn't understand, you can blame the audio. It is a polite white lie. Sorry, I missed that. Could you say it again? That is a pro tip. Blame the technology to save face. I love it. Let's go through a few more vocabulary words that are specific to remote work tools. We mentioned Slack. You might hear phrases like ping me. Ping me means send me a quick message. For example, ping me when you are ready to start. Or DM me. DM stands for direct message. Send me a DM. What about thread? In Slack, you reply in a thread to keep the channel clean. Yes, a manager might say, let's keep this conversation in the thread so we don't spam the main channel. Spam here means to clutter or fill up the channel with too many messages. Another one is hop on a call. This is very casual. Can we hop on a quick call to discuss this? It sounds friendly and fast. Jump on a call works too. Let's jump on a call real quick. Okay, Alex, I think it is time for our big practice conversation. We are going to put all of this together. I will be a new remote employee, and you are my manager on my first day, doing an onboarding call.
Sounds good. Let's do it. Action.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for meeting with me.
Hi, Jane. Welcome to the team. It is great to officially have you on board. Can you hear and see me clearly?
Yes, loud and clear. I am so excited to get started.
Fantastic. So for this first week, we want to ease you in. We work fully remotely, so communication is key. Do you have access to Slack and Trello yet?
Yes, I logged in this morning. I already set up my profile picture. I was wondering, what is the best way to ask questions? Should I DM you directly or post in the general channel?
Great question. For general questions, please post in the team support channel so everyone can help. But if it is sensitive or personal, feel free to ping me directly.
Understood. And regarding meetings, I saw a reoccurring meeting on my calendar for 9 a.m. Is that video on or audio only?
Good catch. That is our daily stand-up. We usually keep cameras on for that one just to say hi and connect, but if your internet is acting up, audio only is fine.
Got it. I will aim to have my camera on. I prefer face-to-face interaction anyway. By the way, I noticed you're in the London time zone. I'm in New York, so there's a 5-hour difference.
Yes, so my afternoon is your morning. I usually log off around 6 p.m. my time, which is 1 p.m. your time. So try to catch me before then if you need immediate approval on anything.
That makes sense. I will make sure to sync up with you during our overlap hours.
Perfect. Overlap hours. You are speaking the language already. Okay, why don't you take the rest of the morning to review the documentation, and we can hop on another call later to discuss your first project.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Alex.
And scene. That was excellent, Jane. You used so many good phrases. Overlap hours is a crucial concept. It's the few hours where both time zones are working at the same time.
Yes, that's usually when meetings happen. I also asked about video on or audio only. This is a valid question. Some companies have a camera optional culture to prevent Zoom fatigue.
Zoom fatigue is the tiredness you feel after being on video calls all day. It's a real thing, so asking about expectations is smart.
We covered so much today. Let's do a gentle recap of the key points for our listeners.
Sure. First, we talked about the types of jobs: remote, fully remote, hybrid, and digital nomad.
Then we discussed the tech check phrases. Can you hear me? You are breaking up. There is a lag, and you are on mute.
We talked about interview questions regarding self-discipline and organization. Remember to use words like prioritize, schedule, and deep work.
We covered scheduling across time zones, being an early bird or a night owl, and finding overlap hours.
And finally, we talked about communication tools. Ping me, DM me, thread, and hop on a call.
It sounds like a lot, but don't worry. You don't have to memorize it all at once. Listen to this podcast again while you are washing the dishes or walking the dog. The more you listen, the more natural it will become.
Exactly. Immersion is the key. And remember, remote work is a skill, just like English is a skill. You get better at it with practice.
We really hope this episode helps you land that dream remote job or feel more confident in your current one. Working from home gives you freedom, and we want you to have the English skills to enjoy that freedom.
Before we go, please remember to check the description box below. We will put a list of the vocabulary words we used today, so you can review them.
And if you have a question or a topic you want us to cover next, leave a comment. We love reading your comments. Maybe you want to know about English for medical professionals or English for travel.
Let us know. Thank you so much for listening to the Jane and Alex podcast. Keep practicing, keep learning, and don't forget to unmute your microphone.
Bye, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Goodbye.